Welcome back. Our next tutorial, we're going to build external walls on top of our concrete slab that we have here. And the first thing we need to do is go to the working drawings and the specifications. We need to look at the thick perimeter wall that we used to build the concrete slab with. If you remember, the concrete slab's dimensions came from here, 6,000 wide, and here, 7,200 deep. We need to use the same ones for our external walls because it's going to sit on the perimeter of our slab. The other thing we need to look at is our wall specifications down here. You can see there are two sets of wall specs. We have 90 by 40 exterior wall frames. We also have the 70 by 35 interior wall frames. For this tutorial, we're just going to focus on the exterior wall frames, which are 90 by 40. The F8 and the F5 is talking about the timber grading and the strength of it. The F8 is a stronger grading, and that's because the exterior walls are going to hold the weight of the roof. They are weight-bearing, load-bearing walls. Down here we see the external cladding is 170mm wood grain hardy plank, which is a weatherboard style look, and they is pieces of timber that run horizontally across the face of the cottage, as you can see in this picture. You can see here the height of our walls are going to be 2400 from floor to ceiling. And as I flick over to Archicad again, if you remember when we set our stories in the first tutorial, first or second, we preset our stories to be 2400, which automatically makes our walls 2400 as well. So now we're going to build them. Let's come over to our wall tool over here. Let's select our settings and let's get to work here. The first setting here, you can see the preset 2400 from our stories, which is what we want. But if need, we can also make our walls taller by adding 600 to them, making the total 3000. We could also make them shorter by subtracting, making the total wall 1800 or a bit less there. But we just want to keep it at 0. Over this side we have different types of walls. Just like the concrete slab, we have a complex compound option that we could select, and this shows you a whole bunch of compounds that builders may want to use. For example, 144mm block wall with a certain rating, or ones that cavity walls that a 90mm modular brick that includes insulation and studs. But we're not builders, and for this case, for this tutorial, we're just going to use the basic wall here. Now I want you to select the wall material, and I want you to go down and find timber structural, which is here. Select that. If you remember from the working plans, it was 90. The width of this timber is 90, so make this 90. And if you come down here, make sure the reference line is on the outside face. I'll explain that to you once we get building the walls. And keep moving down. I want you to select model down here. And if you remember, just like the concrete slabs, these are the external, the edges and the internal faces. I want you to open them all up so you can change them all, and then select what you want each face to be. So for our external face, if you remember, we need weatherboard style. Another name for this, another type of this style that's almost the same, is sidings. So you can choose a light color, medium, light, or a dark siding. I'm going to choose light. You can choose what you like. I'm also going to choose the edges to also be light, so it ties in, so you can't see where one wall starts and one wall ends. On the inside, I want you to select one of the stuccos down here, which is a rendering material, which is kind of a plaster. You can choose white fine or white rough. I'm going to choose white fine, I think. And the only other thing you need to worry about is the layer that it's in. It's preset to wall external, so keep it in that. If not, change it to wall external. And click OK. Now it's time to build our walls. Go into 2D mode. Zoom in on your picture so you can see it best. And I'm going to show you up here a few options to build walls. This option here is designed to build curved walls, which we don't need for this tutorial. This is for trapezoids, and this option is a handy option. I'm going to show it to you, but we're not going to use it. Where you can click and run all the way around wherever you like, and voila, it builds your walls for you just like that. But I want you, and I need you to undo that. There's another way that you can build a wall. You can hold the space bar down and it makes a magic wand for your mouse. And what the magic wand does is it identifies that this is a closed loop of lines. It's been a predefined closed loop of lines. So when it comes over that, so you push spacebar, you see the magic wand come up to the loop and click, and it automatically fills in your walls around the closed loop of lines on your picture, which is handy. But I also want you to backspace from there, and we're just going to use the wall by wall mode. And I need to do this to show you a couple of things, and you need to make sure that you build your walls with this too. So you go up to a corner, click, and start bringing it down, your cursor down. You can see the line that comes down, that's dragged down, stays on the outside of the slab, and the wall is built on the inside, on top of the slab, which is what we want. So you can click there, and you know that the wall has been built on top of the slab. If you click here though, and start bringing your cursor across here, you can see that the wall is snapping to the outside of the slab. It's not on the inside, which means it's not going to be built on top of the slab. It's built just on the outside of the slab, which is not what we want. So just hit escape, leave that top wall, and come over to this side and click, come across, and you can see that the slab is going to sit under the wall if you come from this side. So that's what I want you to do. Come across and click. Come down to this bottom, move across, make sure the wall is sitting on the slab. Yes, it is, and click. Same with this one, start in the corner, come up, and it is sitting on the inside, which is what we want. Click. Beautiful. Now let's go to our 3D view, have a look at our new walls. Fabulous. It's exactly what we want. You can see the edges are the same as the outside faces, which is what we selected, so that's good. You can't see where they begin and end, they're the same. And when you come up here and choose your select arrow tool, you can select individual walls. If you come up to this corner, you can select this wall only. Come here, you can select this wall only, and so on and so forth. And that's really important for a later tutorial, that you can select individual walls. And that is why you must make sure you build your walls using this one, wall by wall, and not this one or the magic wand, which build all 4 walls as one selected piece, and you cannot select individual panes. So make sure you do that. Build all 4 walls individually. Hopefully it looks something like this, and good work.